Back for week 7 podcast, Teamendless83 podcast, baby. Shout out to Coach Prime. My shout outs. Let's get it going. Get this podcast going. Shout outs. Alright, let's go. Teamendless83 podcast intro. Shout out $1 million worth of games. Shout out Math Alpha. Shout out Gills Arenas. Shout out Drink Champs. Shout out Joe Buttons. Podcast Pivot. Breakfast Club. It Is What It Is podcast. Vlad TV. DJ Academics. All the Smoke. Nightcap podcast. Stephen A. Smith podcast. First Take, First Things First, Colin Cowherd, RP Coach Lynch, RP Radio, RP Miss Riddick, shout out Young L, shout out Student High School, football team of course. Follow my Teamendless83 podcast on IG, Facebook, Coach Ken McAfee. YouTube channel, Kenyon McAfee 3191. Follow my YouTube, Kenyon McAfee Choices Interlude, a true testimony. Everybody be safe, spread the love, each one teach one. It's enough to go around for everybody. Uplift, encourage, trust God, trust the process. God is, God did. Alright. Let me get started. And the sports, of course, you know what it do. These are my old business cards. Gotta get your business card game right. Got all always have your business cards on you, fellas. My new business cards, Endless Basketball. Doing my basketball training, of course. Endless Basketball Training, tap in. Alright, shout out to Glen Church. Shout out to Pastor Johnson, Baltimore Church, FCWC. Shout out them. Shout out to District Heights Church, of course. Shout out to my mother, my father, my brothers, my sisters, my nieces, my nephews, my cousins. Shawnee, shout out to my angel Ray. Shout out to Perry Red. Shout out to my man Chop, of course. Shout out to OG Rock, of course. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody. Y'all, Cody Cole, shout you out. Cody Cole, good people. Shout out Key, good people. Shout out Corey, good people. Shout out Z, good people. Shout out Meech, good people. Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody, man. 11B, of course, gas station. You know what I'm saying? Coming from 11B, District Heights, San Diego. You know what I'm saying? 11B gas station. You know what it is, man. Shout out to the Rams, man. They got the win over Bowie this weekend. Shout out to them, of course. Shout out to the Rams, man. Keep on building, keep on building, keep on building. Shout out to my man Butter, Ray Lewis, yes sir. Shout out man A-Train, Ahmad Watson, Lamont Jordan, shout him out, yes. Shout out my man DJ Jenkins. Shout out Josh Jenkins. Shout out Glen Church. Bowie Bulldogs, of course. Let's get down to business. Teamendless83podcast, episode 46, NFL Week 7, titled Hustle Hard. Alright, hustle hard. Hustle hard. Alright. Hustle hard. Hustle the smart way. Get you a business. You know what I'm saying? Turn your passions and turn your passions, your goals, turn that into your business. Certain stuff that you like, turn that to your business. Your clothing line, your endless clothing line, whatever you like, turn it, flip it, do everything legal, man. Work for God, don't work for no labels. Work for God, get in that Bible. Alright, get in that Bible. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. We're getting saved and baptized again. Yes, sir. Coming up October 27th. Whatever this year is, getting saved and baptized. Gotta love it, gotta love it, gotta love it. Alright, Thursday, October 17th. Broncos beat the Saints 33-10. Alright, Sunday, October 20th. Panthers versus the Commanders. The Commanders beat the Panthers 40-7. You got the Patriots versus the Jags. The Jags beat the Patriots 32-16. The Titans versus the Bills. The Bills beat the Titans 34-10. You got the Packers versus the Texans. The Packers beat the Texans 24-22. You got the Eagles 28 versus the Giants 3. The Eagles beat the Giants. Alright, you got the Lions versus the Vikings 31-29. You got the Seahawks versus the Falcons 34-14. You got the Bengals versus the Browns 21-14. You got the Dolphins versus the Colts. The Colts beat the Dolphins 16-10. You had the Raiders versus the Rams. The Rams beat the Raiders 20-15. You had the Chiefs versus the 49ers. The Chiefs won 28-18. Alright, you had the Jets versus the Steelers. You had the Steelers beat the Jets 37-15. Monday, October 21st, the Ravens 41 over the Buccaneers, 41-31. You had the Chargers versus the Cardinals. You had the Cardinals beat the Chargers 17-15. Alright, those are the recap from NFL Week 7. Alright, NFL Week 8, Thursday, October 24th. The Vikings 5-1 versus the Rams 2-4, 8:15 p.m. Prime Video. The spread is -3. The total is 48.5. The money line is the Rams plus 140. I like the Vikings to win that game. Sunday, October 27th. The Ravens is 5-2 versus the Browns 1-6. 1 p.m. kick on CBS. Alright, the spread is Baltimore -11. The total is 43.5. The money line is Cleveland plus 475. I like the Ravens. Alright, you got the Bears 4-2 versus the Commanders 5-2. 4:25 p.m. CBS. The spread is Chicago -3. The total is 44.5. The money line is Washington plus 125. I like the Commanders. Alright. The Jets 2-5 versus the Patriots 1-6. 1 p.m. kick, CBS. The spread is the Jets -7.5. The total is 41.5. The money line is New England plus 280. I like the Jets. You got the Eagles 4-2 versus the Bengals 3-4. 1 p.m. kick, CBS. The spread is Cincinnati -2.5. The total is 47.5. The money line is Philly plus 120. I like the Eagles. Alright. We got the Packers 5-2. 1 p.m. on Fox versus the Jaguars 2-5. The spread is Green Bay -4.5. The total is 49.5. Jacksonville is plus 175. I like the Packers to win that game. Alright, the Titans are 1-5 versus the Lions 5-1. 1 p.m. on Fox. The spread is Detroit 10.5. The total is 45.5. The money line is Tennessee plus 425. Alright. You got the Falcons 4-3 versus the Buccaneers 4-3. 1 p.m. kick on Fox. The spread is Tampa Bay -2.5. The total is 47.5. The money line is Atlanta -145. I like the Falcons to win the game. Alright, you got the Cardinals 3-4 versus the Dolphins 2-4. 1 p.m. kick on Fox. The spread is Miami -3. The total is 48.5. The money line is Arizona plus 140. I like the Cardinals. Alright, the Colts is 4-3 versus the Texans 5-2. 1 p.m. kick, CBS. The spread is Houston -6. The total is 45.5. The money line is the Colts plus 210. I like the Texans to win that game. All right, the Saints is negative. The Saints is 2-5 versus the Chargers 3-3. 4:05 p.m. on Fox. I like the Chargers. All my sources is ESPN. All right, the Bills is 5-2 versus the Seahawks 4-3. 4:05 p.m. on Fox. The spread is Buffalo -3. The total is 47.5. The money line is Seattle plus 145. I like the Bills to win that game. All right, you got the Panthers 1-6 versus the Broncos 4-3. 4:25 p.m. CBS. The spread is Denver -7.5. The total is 43.5. The money line is Carolina plus 300. I like the Broncos. Alright. The Chiefs is 6-0 versus the Raiders 2-5. 4:25 p.m. CBS. The total on CBS. The spread is Kansas City -10. The total is 41.5. The money line is Las Vegas plus 380. I like the Chiefs to win that game. The Cowboys is 3-3. The 49ers are 3-4. 8:20 p.m. NBC/Peacock. The spread is San Francisco -4.5. The total is 46.5. The money line is Dallas plus 175. I like the 49ers to win that game. Alright, the Giants are 2-5 versus the Steelers 5-2. 8:15 p.m. ABC/ESPN. The spread is Pittsburgh -6. The money line is New York Giants plus 240. The total is 36.5. I like the Steelers. Alright. So far, I like the Vikings over the Rams. I like the Ravens over the Browns. I like the Commanders over the Bears. I like the Jets over the Patriots. I like the Eagles over the Bengals. I like the Packers over the Jaguars. I like the Lions over the Titans. I like the Falcons over the Buccaneers. I like the Cardinals over the Dolphins. I like the Colts. No, I like the Texans over the Colts. I like the Chargers over the Saints. I like the Bills over the Seahawks. I like the Broncos over the Panthers. I like the Chiefs over the Raiders. I like the Cowboys. I like the 49ers over the Cowboys. And I like the Steelers over the Giants. Alright. Those are my picks. For NFL Week 8, Thursday, NFL Week 8. Alright. NFL top headlines. Sources: Lions wide receiver Williams facing 2-game ban. Godwin injures ankles in final 104. Evans also hurt. Triple threat. Lamar has Ravens lobbying for MVP. 49ers, Ayuk, 49ers, ACL, MCL, Debo in hospital. Connor sparks cards with words. 52-yard game. The Raiders signed ex-Falcons quarterback Ritter. Sources say. The Commanders say QB Daniels, his rib, week to week. Tua set to practice. Dolphins eye Sunday return. Alright. The AFC rankings from 16 to 1. New England is 1-6 at 16. 15 is Cleveland at 1-6. Number 14 is Tennessee at 1-5. Number 13 is Jacksonville at 2-5. Number 12 is the Jets at 2-5. Number 11 is the Las Vegas Raiders at 2-5. Miami's number 10 at 2-4. Number 9 is Cincinnati at 3-4. Number 8 is the Chargers at 3-3. Number 7 is Denver at 4-3. Number 6 is the Colts at 4-3. Number 5 is Pittsburgh at 5-2. Number 4 is Buffalo at 5-2. Number 3 is Baltimore at 5-2. Number 2 is Houston at 5-2. Number 1 is Kansas City at 6-0. All right, that's the AFC standings. The NFC standings are Carolina is 1-6. Number 16 at 1-6. Number 15 is the Giants at 2-5. Number 14 is New Orleans at 2-5. The Rams at number 13 is 2-4. San Francisco 49ers are 3-4. Arizona Cardinals are 3-4 at number 11. Number 10 is Dallas at 3-3. Number 9 is Tampa Bay at 4-3. Number 8 is the Falcons at 4-3. Number 7 is Seattle at 4-3. Number 6 is Philly at 4-2. Number 5 is Chicago at 4-2. Green Bay is 5-2. Washington is 5-2. Minnesota is 5-1. Number 1 in the NFC is the Detroit Lions at 5-1. All right, those are the standings. All right. NCAA football top 25. Thursday, October 24th. Syracuse is 5-1. So my picks. Okay. Who I think will win is in the pink. All right, so Syracuse is 5-1. Versus number 19 Pittsburgh 6-0, 7:30 p.m. ESPN. The spread is Pittsburgh -6. The total is 61.5. The money line is Syracuse 18. Syracuse plus 180. I am picking Pittsburgh. Friday, October 25th. Number 17 Boise State 5-1 versus UNLV 6-1. CBS, 10:30 p.m. kick. The total is 65.5. The spread is Boise State -2.5. The money line is UNLV plus 125. I am picking Boise State. Saturday, October 26th. Florida State is 1-6 versus number 6 Miami is 7-0. 7 p.m. kick on ESPN. The spread is Miami -21. The total is 54.5. The money line is FSU plus 800. I like Miami to win that game. Nebraska is 5-2 versus number 4 Ohio State, which is 5-2. 12 noon on Fox. The spread is Ohio State 25.5. The total is 48.5. The money line is Nebraska plus 1,800. I like Ohio State. All right. Number 12, Notre Dame is 6-1. Number 24, Navy is 6-0. 12 noon p.m. ABC on ESPN Plus. The total is 52.5. The spread is Notre Dame 12.5. The money line is Navy plus 360. I like Notre Dame to win that game. All right, Washington is 4-3 versus number 13 Indiana 7-0. 12 noon p.m. Big Ten Network. The spread is Indiana -6.5. The total is 52.5. The money line is Washington plus 210. I like Indiana to win the game. Oklahoma is 4-3 versus number 18. Ole Miss is 5-2. 12 noon kick, ESPN. The spread is Ole Miss 20.5. The total is 48.5. The money line is Oklahoma plus 800. I like Ole Miss. All right. Illinois is number 20. Illinois is 6-0 versus number 1. Oregon is 7-0. 3:30 p.m. CBS or / Paramount. The spread is Oregon negative 21.5. 54.5 is the total. The money line is Illinois plus 900. I like Oregon to win the game. Number 11 BYU is 7-0 versus UCF 3-4 at 3:30 p.m. on ESPN. The spread is BYU -2. The total is 55.5. The money line is UCF plus 105. I like BYU to win the game. All right, number 21 Missouri is 6-1 versus number 15 Alabama 5-2. 3:30 p.m. ABC / ESPN. The spread is Alabama plus negative 13.5. The total is 56.5. The money line is Missouri plus 380. I like Alabama to win the game. All right, number 5 Texas is 6-1 versus number 25 Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is 5-2. That's 4:15 p.m. SEC Network. The spread is Texas negative 18.5. The total is 53.5. The money line is Vanderbilt plus 700. I like Texas to win the game. Number 3 Penn State is 6-0 versus Wisconsin is 5-2 on NBC. 7:30 p.m. The spread is Penn State negative 6.5. The money line is Wisconsin plus 195. I like Penn State to win the game. All right, number 8 LSU is 6-1 versus number 14 Texas A&M is 6-1. 7:30 p.m. kick, ABC / ESPN Plus. The spread is Texas A&M. What's this? -2.5. The total is 53.5. The money line is LSU 125. I like LSU to win that game. Yeah. All right. You got Kansas 2-5 versus Kansas State 6-1. Number 16 Kansas State 6-1. ESPN 2. The spread is Kansas State -10. The total is 55.5. The money line is KU plus 300. I like Kansas State to win that game. All right, number 22 SMU is 6-1 versus Duke 6-1. 8 p.m. kick, ACC Network. The spread is SMU -11.5. The total is 48.5. The money line is Duke plus 340. I like SMU to win the game. All right, we got top NCAA headlines. Sort asks fans to use discretion after USC fine. Wolf or Wolverines won't commit to scouting QB. DeBoer Clemson Tigers stayed out for a while. Oklahoma turns QB Arnold for Ole Miss game. Michigan lands pledge form 4-star O-tackle Bodega. Alright, UTES names Barkerton interim OC with somebody is out. Coastal Carolina fires OC quarterback coach Trickett. Or what does it say? Oregon ascends to number 1 in the poll. Dogs number 2. MLB World Series Game 1. World Series starts 10:25. Yankees on 10:25. Yankees 94-68, the regular season record, versus the Dodgers 98-64 during the regular season. 8:08 p.m. on Fox. I am taking the Yankees to win the World Series. All right, the money line is New York plus 105 at Dodgers plus 125. Total is 8.5. The WNBA Finals Game 5. New York wins Series 3-2. Shout out to the Liberty. They beat the Lynx 67-62. Shout out to them. Final in overtime. They won their first champion. Shout out to the New York Liberty. The original team. They finally got their championship. Alright. I guess the season kicks off tonight for the NBA. It's a preseason, but it may be the regular season. I don't know. Knicks 0-0 versus the Celtics 0-0, 7:30 p.m. on TNT. The spread is Boston 5.5. The total is 221.5. Money line is plus 160 New York Knicks. I like the Celtics to win the game. All right. Actually, I like the Knicks to win the game. All right, the Timberwolves versus the Lakers. I like the Lakers to win the game. 10 p.m. on TNT. The total is 218.5. The spread is Minnesota 1.5. The money line is Los Angeles Lakers 105. All right, NBA top headlines. Griffey's in LA to see LeBron's Bronny opener. That's what's up. Nuggets give Gordon 4-year, $133 million extension. Rockets agrees 5-year deal, $185 million deal. Missoula Celtics under zero pressure to repeat. Warriors don't extend Kuminga before deadline. Hawks Johnson agreed to 5-year, $150 million extension. Rockets Green agreed to 3-year, $106 million extension. Sources: Magic extend Suggs a 5-year, $180 million deal. Alright, thank y'all for coming out. God bless you. Good night. Each one teach one. Pray for everybody on the YouTube. Each one uplift, live for God every day. Thank y'all for coming out. Thank y'all for the podcast. This podcast was titled what was this podcast titled? Teamendless83 podcast. Teamendless83 podcast, episode 46, NFL Week 7, titled Hustle Hard. Thank y'all. Keep hustling hard, baby. Keep hustling hard. God is, God did. Thank y'all for coming out. God bless you. Good night.